43.
The Radio Wammo Breakfast.
Joining me now live in the Kiwi studio, it is the boys from Computers Want Me Dead. Good morning to you guys.
Morning.
How are you? Very, very good. So, Sam and Dean?
That's Damien.
Damien.
That's it.
Good morning. Nice to have you in. And good to meet you as well. We've been playing Computers Want Me Dead tracks for a little while now.
Cool, man.
And I was surprised that this is now your first release. It's an EP. So it's
first physical release.
And what are you calling it?
It's just a self-titled EP.
So yeah,
it's called Computers Want Me Dead. Yeah.
Was that just because we couldn't come up with anything for this?
I think because it's our first release. It's kind of,
I think we just liked the idea of it just being a self-titled EP. It's kind of, there's nothing, I don't know, it just seemed like the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Now, you guys flat together, so obviously good friends.
Or not.
Not.
Not this morning.
Depends on what's missing from the fridge that morning, I suppose. When did you guys meet?
2008? No, even earlier, 2007, I think. We met at a Christmas party.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Sam was Santa, I was an elf. It all came together.
Yeah. And obviously a love of, electronic music?
I think a love of, electronic music and kind of music production and things like that. Pretty much, Sam was wearing a Nine Inch Nails shirt and I was like, hey, I like that band. And then we were in his car like 20 minutes later sharing demos.
Wow,
yeah.
Really? You guys, your sound kind of harks back to something perhaps from a couple of decades ago. In some ways, it's modern, but there's definitely an 80s, I suppose, influence in there, wouldn't you say?
There's definitely aspects of that to it. It's I guess both of us kind of grew up in that period, and I think we're both kind of fond of the music of that period. I think that it's always come through in everything that I've done musically personally, and it's just kind of a natural thing for me.
I think it's a nostalgia.
Yeah, definitely there's a nostalgia there. But it's cool, like bringing those kinds of sounds into the modern age. You know what I mean? Like sort of mixing them with more modern sort of drum tracks and stuff.
Was there a vision for the band that it would sort of be a recorded thing first, or was it more of a live band? Something that you could do in front of people.
I think it was more that it started off as a studio project, and then it was like we'll cross the live bridge when we come to it, sort of thing. So like it was always, because it's so sort of production intensive, it was always sort of bound to the studio like that. But we're totally just starting to find our feet live now, so it's really cool.
Yeah, because it can't be easy, right?
Oh, it's real easy. It's
push play and walk away. But we've sort of got
stick a loop on.
Basically. Yeah. No, I mean we've got we sort of got 2 MIDI controllers each, and we do have a backing track because it's sort of about 20 or 30 tracks in some of the songs. So there's a lot of layers, and obviously we don't have 8 arms each. So, I mean we're finding new ways of doing things all the time.
We looked at people like Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails. It's been a big influence on us, and he's someone that definitely writes the music himself and then looks at how to execute it. And that is kind of a successful way of us doing it, but it's been a experience as well. We tried it with a live drummer, and it basically took all the balls out of it.
Did it?
Yeah.
So we
maybe if we just had the wrong drummer or something, but this guy, I don't know, it didn't really pan out. I hope he's not listening. Sorry, dude.
That was Sam saying all that, by the way, not me.
Is this the first time he's heard it? That he's no longer part of the...
No,
that was ages ago. That was like our first gig or our first couple of gigs or something.
I think we did 2 gigs, It's not like we're breaking, hey, you should listen to Kiwi this morning, we got something to tell you.
So do you guys, obviously, you must have get a little bit geeky with the gear
Definitely.
that you use?
Yeah. We've both got qualifications in audio engineering and sort of that. So.
Yeah, a little while ago, I don't know if you guys remember, but back in the first single, we managed to get a sync deal with a Volkswagen ad with it.
That's right.
And we just took all that money.
Was it for In Your Blood?
No, Circles.
We're Walking Circles.
So we basically just took all that money and just blew it on gear, which is pretty cool.
And by gear, he means equipment.
Yeah, sure. Is it a mixture of sort of retro, older gear and new stuff?
I bought a Roland JP8000, which is a pretty mean synth from like the early 90s. But lots of little bits and pieces and nerdy stuff that we can hook up to the computer.
Yeah. We've always been pretty outspoken as geeks, as audio geeks.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, chicks dig it.
Hey, come check out my keys.
Check out my JP8000. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Resonance.
Will you go? Because there are, there are other examples in New Zealand music of that sort of that live performance, like say Pitch Black, which are on a different sort of electronic tip.
Yeah.
Also with the visuals as well. Is that something you guys want to get into, the VJing as well as?
It's funny you should say that. We've put a lot of time and effort into thinking about that stuff, and we're about to execute sort of a 3-month plan that we've been sort of building on, and we're going to buy a bunch of gear and revamp our live show.
Oh wow, cool.
Don't want to give too much away at this stage. But,
have you investigated using an Xbox 360 Kinect?
Actually, I've got this little device that you can plug into an old school Nintendo, and you can so you plug it in, it's like a cartridge.
Yeah.
And you plug the other end into a keyboard, and it actually also outputs a visual signal, so you can project that on a big screen as well.
Oh, brilliant!
That's really rad. And you can actually play the Nintendo like a synth using a keyboard.
Yeah. I was just thinking with the Kinect, we were talking about this on the show last week, where you can have one or two of them on you, and then that will project your image or an avatar of your image up onto a big screen as well. So you'll be moving, and you could be moving something that's completely different on the screen.
I was doing that. I
quite
saw
cool
technology
technology
on TV recently about that.
Yeah, people are hacking them basically.
I've seen people with like a DS, Nintendo DS, like a pocket-sized thing, and
Yeah.
using that to control visuals and stuff. So there's lots of people kind of just
Awesome.
You're just using one thing to do something it's not supposed
But
to.
it's multitasking, man.
It's awesome.
I mean, we're not good at that kind of stuff, are we, guys?
Well,
like it's left
yes.
brain, right brain, sort of.
Yeah. I'll just get my girlfriend to do it. Then she can do all the programming.
Yeah, music and visuals together. I think that'll be something good to see. So you're going to take it on the road overseas, do you think?
Definitely. We've been to Sydney and Melbourne, and we liked what we saw there. I think there's definitely an appetite for what we're making in Australia.
Yeah.
Like there's quite a clear indication of that. Just even like bands that we liked, that are like the presets and things like that.
Cut Copy.
Yeah, there's like a whole list over there. So
Have you got an in with Cut Copy? Do you know the guys at all? Have you talked to them?
No, not necessarily. I've heard their music. No.
You guys going to arrange a gig where you can bring them over? Because I don't think they've ever been here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not to
That
go on a
surprises
tangent
me.
and talk about another band, but
No, it's fun.
I'd like to see them here.
Now we have a
That'd be
task.
good. Yeah. Well, if there was a community around your type of production, here in New Zealand, then it would be a good impetus to have something here, like a big gig of some kind. Just throwing it out there. Yeah.
Noted. Thanks.
Requests. Requests.
That's my personal request. So people can get a hold of the EP in stores, obviously, but also digitally.
Yep, on iTunes and Digirama and Amplifier and off my mum.
And talking about the visuals, who does your videos?
The latest one was for Letters and Numbers was by a guy called Liam Buckler.
Yep.
Who's really, really awesome director, and was shot by a dude called Warren Green, and he's a wicked DOP. The one before that, though, In Your Blood, was done by Simon Ward, and he's really wicked at sort of 3D graphics and stuff.
Yeah.
And the one before that, I did it. I just learnt how to use a bunch of use all the software and stuff. It took me ages, and it was a real mission.
Awesome. So Letters and Numbers is the latest tune. How many tracks on the EP?
7.
Yeah, 7 tracks, 4 originals and 3 remixes.
It's almost a long player.
Wow.
Almost. Let's go out on some letters and numbers. Computers Want Me Dead. Sam and Damien, thanks so much for coming on into the Kiwi
Thanks
studio.
for having us.
Really, really nice to meet you both. And we will catch you next time. Here it is, Letters and Numbers.